Okay, where we go. Welcome, everybody. It's great to see you all here tonight. And I want to introduce you to Deb Griffiths. Deb and I are actually co-authors in an up-and-coming book. There's someone, can I please get everybody to mute themselves because I can hear someone in the background. Thank you. Yeah, we're co-authors in a book, up-and-coming book called The Art of Self-Health. It's an inspirational guide from global wellness leaders. So that's exciting, isn't it, Debs? We're
super exciting. I can't wait to launch.
Great. Deb is a neurotransformational therapist. She helps women to step into their power and to accelerate to success. She's a personal development mentor and a coach, and she's been running some courses recently, and I'm going to leave it all up to you now. Debs, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Raewyn, and so lovely to meet you all virtually. Once I start with topics like this, I kind of tend not to be able to stop. So hence my please feel free to contribute or ask questions or stop me. I'm passionate about the topic and everything personal wellness or personal well-being, etc. So yeah, thank you for coming along tonight and sharing some of your time. I am going to talk today on a topic of moving from fear to love. And obviously in terms of the sense, we're talking about self-love or just love in general in terms of our way of being. So before I begin, I thought I'd start with an excerpt from Gary Zuckoff's book, Seat of the Soul. I don't know if anyone here has read that book. Yes, no? No, it is a little, yeah, it's a good book, but it can be quite dark. But he says in his book that every action, thought, or feeling is motivated by an intention. And that intention is a cause that exists with an effect. So the universe is basically always aligning with our intention. And that's sort of going to be the flow of what I'm going to talk into tonight. So with the law of intention, we typically have two options. We can choose to come from a place of fear, or we can choose to come from a place of love. Now, our fear-based emotions are things like anger, jealousy, vengefulness, attacking or judging of another person. And this is essentially the choice to evolve unconsciously through painful or destructive consequences that the fear emotion creates. So flip side of that, we can come from love. And this is more about gratitude, patience, courage, satisfaction, appreciation. And this is the choice to evolve consciously through healthy and constructive consequences, which is created by love. So I'm sure that most of you who are listening tonight, and feel free to say if not, are keen to know how we can change from this fear-based choice to more of a love-based approach. Yes? Cool. That's why you're here, right? So most people hate the idea of change. And did you notice that word there? The hate. Brenda, I think you've come off mute.
Sorry, I'm on my phone. I'll just
hit mute again. Thank you. Yeah, so most people hate change. So did you guys hear that word hate? That's a fear-based word. But in reality, change seems scary to most people. And most often in life, when we do consider change, we sort of say, well, they can change, or when they change, or when change happens over here. But actually, we need to see change as something that comes from within. This is a requirement for ourselves. And so it is led by our own desire to see the world differently, but it is up to us to lead that. It's got to come from within. And in connection to that, like a state of peacefulness, relaxation, love, satisfaction, enjoying life as it comes to you, and trusting that everything will be all right, is a lighter and more love-based approach than the choice to kind of expect someone over here to change, which is a place of separation, loneliness, isolation, anger, fear, and pain. So essentially what we're saying is, let's bring it inward. Let's look at ourselves to convert that fear into love, because we are basically the creators of our world. An example of this would be to remind yourself through an affirmation. I have one that I use, and Raewyn is fabulous with affirmations. I actually remember her business card with her beautiful affirmations on the back, for anyone that's seen that before. I'm sure you have, Louise, being your mum. But if I use this one, and it's everything is perfect in my world, no matter how it comes, it will be wonderful. So if I can pop that in the chat for anyone who wants it, or I'll give you a minute to write it down. Does anybody want that, or are we all good with it in the recording?
It's so true, isn't it? Everything just is.
Yeah.
So it's perfect for you whenever.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening.
It's taken me a good 10 years of practice.
Longer than that.
So don't, be patient. Or maybe you'll be amazing and I was just slow on the uptake. I don't know, but yeah.
Cool.
All right. So basically love is the act of letting go of fear. They are two polar opposites. If you think of polarities, we got love at one end, we got fear at the other, and fear is just 1% love or 100% fear, and love is either 1% fear or 100% love. We're just on opposite ends of the scale. And basically you cannot experience the two at the same time. You're either experiencing love or you're experiencing fear. There is no ways that you can do them both at the same time. And just to solidify that further, if you are not coming from a place of love, then you are coming from a place of fear. That's just a really good reminder to pop into your everyday life. When something comes out of your mouth, what was it? Was it love-based or was it fear-based? And you can anchor and adjust accordingly. So in alignment with fear, dissatisfaction is probably the biggest addiction on the planet. So if you are experiencing this, then the law of attraction says that you're going to be attracting it too. So if you're experiencing dissatisfaction or negativity in your world, then I urge you to turn inward. Look at your set point, and when you look, you will find what needs to be seen, and you will be able to heal it and clear it in order to change your results externally. This is one of my favorite analogies. Lucky I'm not hosting, because I'd probably play it for you. But have you heard of the Michael Jackson song, The Man in the Mirror? I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Feel free to play it if you would like to.
I didn't actually get it ready because I was like, yeah, that's probably going to be a bit much. And then singing it would be an all different game. So, but it basically says, I'm starting with the man in the mirror and I'm asking him to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer. But if you want to make a change, then look at yourself and make that change. It all starts with you. So with that in mind, I'll introduce, and can I share my screen, Raewyn, if I'm not hosting? Let me just see. Yes, I can. Okay, so I'll just share my screen with you. Where are you now? Sorry, technical glitch. Okay, can you all see my screen? Thumbs up? Okay, cool. So this is what we call the energy vibration funnel. Let's look at the little funnel on the side, just over here. And at the bottom where it says alpha point, we have what's called our low vibration energies. Obviously in there, you're going to see the word fear and how grief, apathy, guilt, shame, they all are low vibration energies. They're also what we call force energies or contracted energies. Let's rise above the word courage, and we've got more of neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, etc. Those are our power or high vibration and expansive energies. Now, the law of attraction is also like attracts like. So when you are hanging out in the contracted force energies of fear, guilt, shame, apathy, and grief, guess what's coming? All of that. If you are vibrating in our expansive power energies of neutrality, willingness, acceptance, love, joy, reason, guess what's coming? More of that. This is a great reminder, and I'm very happy to share it with you after the call. This is easily available. It's not my IP, not that I wouldn't be happy to share if it was, but it is everywhere. This is science based, but like attracts like. It's not just something that comes from a woo-woo space. I'll just stop my screen share if everyone's happy with that. Oops. Cool. Did you
Sorry,
have
I've been
to say,
trying
Raewyn?
to bring you up, Deb, as the speaker, and Maggie, you keep coming up as the speaker. So I'm not sure what on earth is happening here. When I
Did
put
you
on
hear
speaker,
anything
see
I
what
said?
happens? Pardon?
Did you hear anything I said?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, every little bit of it. Yep.
Oh, cool. Okay. So yeah, the energy vibration funnel is just a really good way. Again, it's a check and balance. Like because you can't be in two places at the same time, you're either in one or you're in the other. And the technicalities is fear is born when we are either living in the past or projecting our past into our future. It is not possible to experience fear when we are living now, just right now, for this second or this minute or this moment. And maybe some of you are sitting there going, well, you know, you've got no insight into my world. It's easier said than done. I have been there. You know, I'm happy to share at any point my journey. And I don't sit here speaking to you from a place of no hardship or adversity. In fact, all that is what led me to do what I do today and be passionate about coaching. So I really do understand that it does sound easier than it is to stay in the now moment, or it seems easy to say, not easy to do, to stay in the now moment. But stick with me, please, ladies, because I will go into ways as to how we can be more mindful about doing this and staying in the now moment to be able to create the life that you desire, or move away from the fear and more into the love. Any questions before I move on? No?
If you have a question, just unmute yourself, okay?
Cool. So I'll talk a little bit more into this projection model about, you know, what we are is what we attract. And imagine yourself to be like a TV screen with a built-in DVD system. And so you're going to pop a DVD in. Now, I'll just do this and answer the questions myself. If I was going to put a DVD into my built-in DVD TV thing, I would put in a romantic comedy. So let's say I put my DVD in, it's a romantic comedy, and my TV starts playing and there's a horror. Like, seriously, I'd be mortified. One, because I absolutely hate horrors, but two, because wait a second, I put in a romantic comedy. It's not likely to happen. The only way we would see the horror is if we put the horror in. So let's go. The DVD is essentially your thoughts. the thoughts that you think and the thoughts that you create in your mind are what is going to create what you start to see in the world. And, you know, I've seen this so much when I just focus on something, it shows up, whether it's good or bad. Or I have clients that go, why is it that no matter how much I focus on something else, something different shows up? And I go, well, how much are you really thinking about the thing that you want versus thinking about the thing that you don't want? And the universe doesn't hear don't, can't, won't, and not. So don't let me slip. Don't let me spill my coffee. Don't let me get mascara on my eyes or on my eyelid. I'm rushing. The universe just hears mascara on the eyes, spill your coffee, slip
It's like
over.
telling a dog. It's like telling a dog that you're not going to take it for a walk.
Yeah.
All
And
it
the dog
hears is
hears walk.
It doesn't
Yeah.
hear the don't or not. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's funny because when I was what's the right description for this? When my daughter was young, I always used to say, don't do this or don't do this. And somebody introduced me to the concept, how about you tell them what you actually want them to do? Because the don't or the no or won't or can't, or it's like a negation. And so your subconscious mind and the universe don't hear it, because before they hear the don't, they have to process the do. And it's the same with the universe. Before it processes the don't, it has to process the do. So I started changing my parenting instructions to, hey, see if you can wait by the car with both hands on the door. Well, that was a better instruction. Now they feel like it's a good plan to stand first on the door. Or wonder if you can run all the way along the sidewalk to that tree. So suddenly you're just giving them that one thing, because they also may not think about running in the road until you say, don't run in the road. Then they're like, ooh, why wouldn't I run in the road? The curious mind takes over. So yeah, that's basically just what I call projection. Is projection, like we project our thoughts into our reality. So being really mindful of those from a fear-based perspective. So the term fear syndrome is kind of a place where we are in the world right now. And I did say to Raewyn, I wasn't making this focused around COVID specifically, but it is where we're at, right? Our world is never going to be the same again. This world today is not going to be the world that we once knew. Our media is showing a lot of fear, and everybody feels it. Everywhere, every time you go somewhere, everybody feels it. So I'm not going to hide from the fact that we've got things going on that are making people feel really afraid. But what I will ask and what I will remind you to do is choose love to be your new permanent state. When you wake up in the morning, you don't have to wait for your day to show up or to read the news about how many cases or where it's spread or whether you've got to wear a mask or have a vaccine certificate or don't, or nothing. Don't wait for those things to set your day. Set your day first and make sure that you choose love. Let this be your new permanent state. Who's up for that one? Yeah.
It's always good to start your day off by saying, whoa, I'm going to have a fantastic day. And even if you've had very little sleep,
yeah,
if you get up and say, oh my God, I haven't had enough sleep, I'm going to have a lousy day, you'll have a lousy day.
Yeah.
But if you get up and say, well, I obviously didn't have much sleep, but I obviously had enough that I need, and it's going to carry me through the day, you'll be right.
Because it goes back to
you can always have a nana nap later.
Well, it goes back to the same affirmation that I said in the beginning. It's perfectly evolving, you know, and that was the amount of sleep that you needed. And, you know, that's why I kind of go, well, if my dog barks, sorry, my dog barked. Like, I know I'm doing a talk, but my dog has something to say too. Or if a child interrupts me, thank you. I'm glad that you popped in at that exact moment because, I don't know, you changed the vibration or you heard something that you needed to hear. Yeah. So basically, where was I? So I was talking about making love the permanent state for you. The best and pretty much only way to do this, again, is to go within. Discover the power that you have within you to save yourself. Oh, what did Brenda say? Thanks, so true, needed to hear. Oh, that's good, Brenda. So it's a sense of responsibility, and responsibility is our ability to respond to life, not from a victim space, but from a way that gives us power. You have within you incredible abilities to make positive changes in your world. But if you come from a victim space, this is the space that's isolated in pain and fear. This is where we're desperately searching for someone else to fix it and do it for us. But if we are genuinely talking about the responsibility or the ability to take responsibility for ourselves, for our own lives, this is about coming from the love space. This isn't waiting for anyone. This isn't hoping and praying that the old school fairy tale knight in shining armor is going to come and change what it is. We've got to go inwards. So simply ask yourself, how can I contribute and change the experiences that I have? And from the moment that we decide to make the change, and from the point of getting everything that we desire, we'll release the old beliefs, habits, and patterns. So action points: make the choice, make the change, take the action. Learning, practicing, and living our new beliefs of coming from love and being our own empowered person are going to be what empowers us to live from the love space, and to live from the love space with so much more ease, really. But here's the self-love key. Be patient. Be patient with yourself, and remember to build yourself up instead of beat yourself down. Like, ask yourself the question, do my thoughts build me up right now, or are they breaking me down? Who's got children? I know there's one there. Cherie's got someone, Louise, me, Raewyn, you clearly do. It doesn't matter what age they are. You wouldn't berate your kids. And within you is an inner child too. So being really mindful about your words to yourself is really important. Instead of the beating yourself up or beating yourself down, curiously question, do they beat me up? Are my thoughts beating me up or beating me down? It's not a loving act. Beating yourself up is not a loving act.
I always say, Deb, that it's really good to be a little bit selfish every now and then.
Yeah.
And it's not being selfish. If you can't look after yourself, love yourself, how can you actually share with others and give love to others? You've got to love who you are, and you are number one in your life, because if you don't look after yourself and put yourself first, be a little selfish instead of selfless and run yourself ragged. I hope there's someone here listening.
No, I've got a webinar.
Brenda,
Webinar, is it like a
Brenda,
seminar?
you're not on silent.
Sorry.
Okay, see you later, Jackie.
So that's fine, not a problem. So yeah, be selfish and look after number one.
I refer to selfish as selfful.
That's cool. Yep. Self-talk. Yep.
Because it's like I want to encourage people to be full of self-love as opposed to that stigma. Like selfish is almost a word, if you like, we can dig into beliefs.
It depends on who's listening to or judging it.
Yeah, and also what we've been taught growing up. Like if we were taught growing up, don't be selfish, that's selfish. Like selfish is going to carry fear for us. Selfish is going to carry those low vibration energies for us. So self-full sounds pretty cool.
That sounds cool.
It personally doesn't carry any negative low vibration energies for me. Like I feel like it's up there.
Well, I actually say it to make people feel, let them know that it is okay. It's not a negative thing. It's a good thing for you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say, in alignment with that is I remember when I first started my journey of self-discovery 10 whatever years ago, and I decided to tune my awareness into the voice in my head or the monkey brain or the self-talk. And one of the things that I always caught myself saying was like, oh my God, Deb, you're so stupid. Or, oh my God, Deb, that was dumb. Deb, what were you thinking? Like the beat myself down bizzo. And so I made a tiny little change. And you can like ask my family because they really started to laugh at me. But I literally would repair this out loud and go, wait, hang on a second, reframe. Oh my God, Deb, what a great lesson you've just learned. You're amazing. And still to this day, if I do happen to catch myself, saying anything that would be considered child abuse, I backtrack it and out loud fix it. And sometimes I'll even repeat it 3 times. So, just to show that it's not always about, outward changes out here. It's the inward tweaking that counts. The world we see and the world we're experiencing is a direct relation to what is going on within us, in our hearts and in our mind. So again, I'm just going to say, now is your time to do everything you can to look within, to awaken your powerhouse and to change the way that she sees and experiences the world around her, because it all begins with you. You can use affirmations, the tiniest thing, just like I did when I said before, with my self-talk, and see what word replacements you can use. So if you find yourself worrying always about money, maybe your new affirmation becomes, I am abundant financially. Or if you are experiencing pain in your body, maybe that becomes, I am grateful for a healthy body with, responsive nerve endings. Just a small alteration or tweak to the way that we think is going to have a massive impact on what we are going to experience. There is power. Did you want to say something, Raewyn?
Okay. No, you keep going.
No, you can go.
It just popped out again. Don't worry.
Are you sure?
I've actually got my card here, but
Yeah.
that one is a new one I've put on. Okay. So,
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah. So the pictures the words that you say and the pictures you create in your mind create your life. But my major affirmations that are on this card, and I've got it on my mirror, and I've had it on my mirrors for years. So Louise might confirm that one, but it's on my mirrors in the bedroom, and it used to be in my bathroom when I was in Papamoa. But it's, I am enough.
Yeah.
So many people don't think they are enough, good enough, thin enough, clever enough, smart enough, whatever enough. I have phenomenal coping skills, and I learned that one when I was looking after my mother with Alzheimer's, and that's an amazing one. I have phenomenal coping skills. That's a very powerful word. And the other one, which I use a lot now, is nothing and no one can disturb my peace of mind.
Yeah, that's good.
That is a very
especially
powerful
with
one.
all the noise going on.
Yeah. And you can say it, you don't have to say it out loud. If someone's really bugging you and they're in front of you, you just go, nothing and no one can disturb my peace of mind, in your brain, in your head. And believe me, it shifts things. It really
Yeah.
does. It's a major. Yeah.
It's the inner world that, you
Mm.
know, changes the outer for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I was, thank you for that, Raewyn, too, by the way, because it is very helpful and those affirmations are beautiful. But there is power in the way that we communicate with ourselves. By clearly communicating with ourselves, we can influence our own thoughts, our own feelings, and our own behaviors to produce different results, or the results that we actually desire in life, not the ones that we're trying to run away from. And once we master or master changing the way we communicate with ourselves, then we also can change the way we communicate and influence the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors of others, which is like a flow-on effect, because it will serve them in a positive way, as well as produce results for them and us in our lives. So with that being said, we are never ever going to get the love and acceptance from anyone else if we do not give it and recognize it in ourselves first. That is the number one key.
Walk your talk.
Yeah, totally. Letting go of fear, and this aligns with some of the work that I do in the neurotransformational therapy. And in neurotransformational therapy, we basically clear away some of the most powerful low vibration emotions that people hold on to, and fear is one of them. So letting go of fear would seemingly be in direct conflict with the highest prime function of your subconscious mind, which is actually to preserve the body. That's what we think. But in actual fact, living in fear harms the body. Our fight or flight mechanism in the limbic brain is what is here to protect us. Holding on to fear does not. In fact, they say holding on to fear, they being scientists. Here's me bringing authority bias into the conversation. I better clarify who they are, the powers that be, the aliens from another planet. No, I'm kidding. So basically they say holding on to fear has been proven to increase our stress levels, to weaken our immune system, and it can even cause gastrointestinal and cardiovascular damage. So fear is not helpful. Hence my passion of the neurotransformational therapy, being able to clear that low vibration energy, but talking tonight on this topic about the power of moving every cell in our body from that fear, fight or flight experience and into a love-based experience. So who is committed to releasing fear and replacing it with love to better preserve their body and take care of themselves? Me. Yeah, nice. So to kind of finish off, because I think that I've probably gone over time, and I did warn you I was a chatterbox, I'll just give you some quick fire tips on how you can potentially overcome your fear. Now I've weaved some tips in the whole way through. As I've said, increase your self-love, affirmations, going inward, recognizing what your self-talk is like. But here are some other more direct ones that look into fear. So naming it, right? Sometimes just stating out loud what you really think you're fearful of gives you space in your brain to be able to deal with that fear. You know, our brain is this big, or is it this big? Oh, it's this big. That's the stomach. Don't mind me. So 2 fists is the brain. So when your brain is full and there's lots going on and fear is taking up a good amount of that, if you can just get it out, write it down, it'll help you to create space to give you some clarity and bring in more love, and then figure out how you can progress in this now moment and let go of that fear. The second thing would be to educate yourself. So the unknown is scary. So use your little toolkit, get some information on a topic that you might be worried about, talk to somebody, voice it, gain knowledge, do whatever you need to do to educate yourself so that you're not feeling so bound by that fear anymore. 3 is, one moment. See, this was what I was talking about, children. I'm still on a call. Thanks. I didn't see an iPad in here. Sorry. 3 is gaining a sense of proportion. So how big of a deal is it really? When I talk about that projections model and I say we're taking the past and projecting it into the future, quite often when we do that, we are always envisaging the worst case scenario. Like, I'm sure you guys, I did this like heaps. But who can think of a time where there was something happening in their world, they projected this absolute catastrophic event and it turned out to be nothing? Has anyone had that before? Okay, I used to blow things out of proportion all the time.
Yeah, I don't know that I've done it, but I know many people, like clients, that do it all of the time.
Yeah, and I did, like, when pre my journey, I know I used to make what my mother would call a mountain out of a molehill all the time. And so gain a sense of proportion. How big a deal is it really? Bring yourself into the now moment. Just weigh it up from a neutral, love-based approach, and that will help you to diffuse some of the fear as well.
I always say, Deb, if you've got a fear or a negative thought in your mind, ask yourself, is this real? Where's it come from?
Yeah.
Did I tell myself it?
Yeah.
Has someone else told me it? Is it true? 9 times out of 10, it'll be nothing.
Fear is really an acronym for false evidence appearing real.
Appearing real.
And that's what it is. You know, it's a vague memory from something in our past that we are creating in our future. And that was then, and this is now. So if you can stay out of the projection into the future and bring it in, you can write it down, you can learn, you can research, you can, you know, bring it into proportion. And then my next one is you can ask for help. It's extremely helpful, you know, like, it's okay to say to someone, I need a little help. I'm feeling afraid. I'm feeling unsafe. You know, I'm feeling whatever. But ask for help, because we are 99.9% of the planet is here to serve. And I haven't yet met anyone who doesn't feel good from helping somebody on their journey. So ask for help. Even, you know, nobody needs to necessarily have experience, but yeah, forget everything and run. Yeah. There is another more crude version of that, I think. But what's the other one? Face everything and rise. Yeah. And mine was another F word, everything and rise.
Oops.
I didn't say it. But basically, look, you can talk to a friend, you can find a mentor or a group that can help you through anything. You know, athletes have coaches, students have teachers. So you don't have to go at anything alone. There is always going to be somebody there to support you. And then lastly, have a positive attitude. It seems cliched and it seems underrated, but if you can put your glasses of positivity on, it is extremely useful. And this is not to ignore the reality of what your world is experiencing right now, but it's to help give you some reprieve and to give you an opportunity to restore your faith and give you an opportunity to find your love so that you can face what you need to and step into your success, step into your power, step into the greatness that you are and that you desire to be.
That's a great ending, Deb. Thank you very much. I'm sure everyone has enjoyed Deb's talk tonight. Has anyone got any questions before we close up? Well, thank you, Deb, and thank you all for attending. Next fortnight, we will have Dennis, and he's an ex-pharmacist who is very holistic. He's